Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about 3 different techniques that is really going to help your eye contact, because eye contact is such a powerful way to communicate that if you don't have eye contact, you know what, you're really missing out. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities that don't come your way because of the fact that you're not really projecting your powerful self. They say the eye is the window of the soul, how cliche it is, but it's pretty much true. I can instantly tell when looking in a person's eyes what type of person they are. I get a lot of information that comes from them. So I'm going to show you 3 simple techniques really to improve your own eye contact. So if you're ready, this is going to be the first one. Okay, a lot of guys come up to me and they're like, hey, I get nervous and when I look at a woman in her eyes and I want to turn away. And women say the same thing to me as well. So it's a both gender type of thing. So here's one technique that you can do. It's really simple. This is probably the most simplest thing. If a person isn't feeling comfortable looking at a person's eyes, the very first thing you can do is you look directly here. You don't even look in the eyes. You look right here. Okay, and if you do that, that's going to be step 1, because you're communicating and you're focused on something that's other than the eyes. So it kind of like shortcuts you off of that direct energy transfer that's coming from the eyes and from God knows what the energy is that nobody can ever explain. However, the point is, if you look right here, it's going to be a very powerful way just to kind of get over all that initial anxiety if you have that. It's like those are like crutches. This is like baby steps right here. So this is the first thing you can do. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing you can do is get out of what they call the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. A lot of guys feel anxiety or nervous, and their body responds in a very poor way. And there's a simple technique that's called, it's actually a number of different ways you can call it. One's called Hawk-Allow, one's called the learning state. It could be stopping the world, Carlos Castaneda talked about in his books. It can be the 3-point attention, and it's a very powerful technique. And it works like this. It puts your body from a sympathetic fight or flight to a very relaxed state of being. It transfers your focal vision into your peripheral vision. And this is actually the way that I walk around pretty much 90% of the time. It's a very trance-like, it's a very zen state. A matter of fact, when I was in the clubs and I have a million things going on me, I'm always in this zen state because you're using your senses, you're feeling differently. It's not focused on things like this. It's a very feeling type of way of processing the world. And that's why, you know, one of the things I'll tell you, if you saw me in the first videos kind of looking back, I'm not really used to having a camera in my face, and I'm always around my surroundings. That's just 22 years working in nightclubs and stuff like this. So just to give you a little history on that and why I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? It's kind of strange for me. Anyways, so the point is this, is once you get your feeling vibe around you, okay, it's very relaxing when you're talking to a person because you're not like focused in. And this is how you do it, okay? So I want you to pick a spot above eye level, okay? Let's just say you're looking, let's see, pick something in the background. Maybe I'll put a little spot back there for you to look at, okay? Sit back, relax. And I'm going to guide you through this so you can just notice the difference in the way you process. Your brain flips out of sympathetic to parasympathetic. So sit back, okay? Pick a spot above eye level where you're at. Maybe it could be the corner of where the roof and the wall meets. Just pick a spot. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take your hands just like this, if you can see, and I want you to place it directly in the middle of that spot, above eye level. So you're sitting there and you're looking at that spot, above eye level, and this is centered right here. So you just got that, and you're just looking at that spot. And as you continue this whole time to continue to look at that spot, I simply want you to take your hands and start to move them apart. Move them apart in such a way that as you're doing this, you can begin to notice that you're following with your peripheral vision. You're looking at that spot still. Keep focused on that spot, but allow your hands to widen, okay, and go all the way to the point. So you're using your peripherals to see where they are. You can use your hands to go back and forth and find that spot right before you can still see it. You can wiggle your fingers or anything like this, but it lets you know that you're still there in that spot. Okay, and find that spot right where you can barely see anymore, but you're sensing it. You're using your peripherals as you're looking with the focal vision up there. Your peripherals are out here. Okay, take a deep breath in and just imagine that your arms are on swivels and they continue to move around. You're following with your awareness what that path would be. Okay, and when it gets all the way behind you, just lower your eyes, keeping your peripheral, that sensory awareness open, and notice how your body should feel a little different, much more relaxed now as you're sitting here. And as you're sitting here, just notice how your body feels differently. And imagine if you're in a situation with a beautiful partner or a friendly friend, and you're sitting there, just notice how your body feels differently as you're communicating. It's a very open, playful, easy way to communicate. And it can really help you out, especially if you've been stressed out. Do this, and there's a lot of things on YouTube. If you really want to get into the basics of it, you can just search Hawk Aloud Learning State, and there'll be some good tutorials. It's a very useful thing to learn, okay? Now, the secret trick, the one that I always use, that I'm going to impart on you, is this technique. So, this is Maria. Let's just call her Maria. She's the little bug-eyed, all right? She stayed up one too many nights. Now I want you to look at this. See that? See those eyes? Kind of seducing eyes right there. But see the blacks of the eyes? Let's just say those are the pupils of an average person. Now, obviously, she's not the best looking woman in the world, but I want you just to use this and get an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the way I communicate. When I'm trying to make an impact moment, when I'm being extremely present, and I get this a lot. People always say, you have fantastic eye contact, and they really feel comfortable with me because I'm really, really deep into their experience, okay? And this is the way it goes. So, you see the blacks right there? Right there. Perfect. Okay? When I'm talking to a person, I'm not looking at their eyeballs. Imagine like their eyeballs are back here. I'm not looking at their eyeballs, okay? I'm imagining that this, right here, these two things, okay, this is their neural pathway, what I call it, the neural pathway, and it goes all the way through their brain, and I imagine that it connects to this primal spot. This is the little primal spot I imagine right here, okay? And it's like the primal way of thinking. It's like when I'm talking directly to this, I'm talking directly to their unconscious mind. I'm getting a deep, deep, powerful connection that lets them know that, hey, I'm here on all levels, I'm open, I'm aware, I'm with them, I'm being present, which is a very powerful way of going. So, when I'm looking, I'm just looking right through them. I imagine a foot. You can imagine 2 feet. You can imagine 10 feet back. But where I'm focusing on is right here, deep in the center, okay? So I'm going to turn it this way. I'm looking in here, going through, focusing on here, and I'm talking directly to this point. My vision, my focal vision is so just anchored in on that one spot that that's what I'm talking to. And that's a huge, huge, powerful way to communicate. And I guarantee if you communicate with this, you're going to get people saying, wow, I really feel comfortable with you. Wow, there's a connection. It's just a powerful way of being. So, one more time, just so you get it. You follow the pupils and you just imagine that there's a V and it's connecting right here to the primal spot. You're looking through them and you're just focusing on this spot, about a foot beyond, and you're talking directly to them. And when you do this, it's going to be an extremely powerful way of getting eye contact. So men or women, you can use this. It's very powerful. Keep your intentions good, okay? And other than that, that's about the hip tip for the week that we're going to talk about. So I just wanted to bring this across. It's a good technique. If you like the video, please subscribe and please hit like down below. I put a lot of time into making up Maria and stuff like this, so at least you can go hit like, okay? So until next week, remember, double your fun, double your pleasure. Hypnotica.